Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to another Commander Breakdown video. Today we're doing Rocket, and in traditional Melt fashion, we're going to start with a lag because that's what's been going on lately. What are you going to do? Okay, alright, so in today's video we're talking Rocket. Let's go right into the flavor text. Roquette is this star system's most famous arms and explosive expert and is being held by the government for crimes jeopardizing interstellar security. She said if there's a day she gets out of prison, she'll make the imperial government pay. Okay, so she's a prisoner. What's interesting about Rocket is instead of a normal D-class commander, which she normally comes out as, that's a junk, she's actually quite good. Now her first skill is a reduced damage skill that stacks, which is okay. Nothing to build a commander around, and then an awakening, traditional airship awakening, which is the best awakening in the game. So we like that. But this is the real bread and butter of this commander: energy armor. Energy armor is a fantastic skill because, like bullet and rock, it's an ignore tear suppression skill. But it works a little differently. It is a guaranteed hit, but once she triggers it on herself, it acts as thorn. So she doesn't do any damage with energy armor until someone hits her, or I should say attacks her, because the skill reads, until the next action, the initiator's defense will increase by 15%. Yay. Adds a little defense value there. But what's important, it says, when an attack hits the armor, the attacker will take damage. Well, the attack doesn't actually have to hit the armor, which I'll show in some replays later. She can dodge and still get the full damage off. So what that means is that we can build Rocket as a high-tier airship dodge commander, which I don't like dodge commanders on airships. I really don't. But early game, there's not a lot of guaranteed hit skill commanders for airships to choose, and guaranteed hit is so important against infantry and walkers who like to build dodge, just like everyone's doing early game. So in a high-tier toe-to-toe fight, energy armor actually gets quite a bit of value. The skill does hit really hard. And like I said, it ignores tear suppression and ignores strength and weakened. It's just like Bullets, Ghost Cannon, or Annihilator Ray. So this skill actually falls in the class of true damage skills. Like I said, Bullet and Rock. Maruko has a 20% sneak attack ignore tear suppression skill, and Blader has a 20% ignore tear suppression skill. So Rocket has the 5th ignore tear suppression skill, and it's quite as good. It just works differently. It has to be attacked to be triggered instead of triggering on the enemy. Now remember, Ghost Cannon, Annihilator Ray, and all those other ignore tear suppression skills have to have high accuracy to land. They aren't guaranteed hits. Energy armor doesn't have to have high accuracy. She just has to be swung at. And also, once it triggers on the front row, the back row, when it attacks Rocket, can also trigger that skill. So it does have quite a bit of value, and she comes from the relic of the 20, 40, 60 commanders from back in the day, but they found out that energy armor was so freaking good that they had to nerf it down to 20%. And even at 20%, I still consider it a fair skill. It's really not that bad. It still puts her in a top-tier airship commander. I kind of put her like just behind Raymond. So it's like Rogers and Golem, Raymond and Vega, and then Rocket, not Vega, oh gosh, Cohen, and Blader. I put Blader above. I put Blader with Golem and Rogers. He's just a different style. But Rocket is definitely fun to build as a total tank. Because you get so much value out of that energy armor, you truly could go double energy barrier, tear suppression on the chest if you want to. You can also go with Armor of the Tyrant or Creator. I don't recommend Creator. It's just a really expensive chest piece, and it's been surpassed lately by Armor of the Tyrant and Black Knights, which came out later. Now, if you are going to use advanced tier 9 or higher with infantry, you can use Void, which is great for more dodge. But I prefer the defense survivability build on her. Pants-wise, fabrication for defense are great. If you're going dodge build, of course, use Speed of God or the Nixaw pants. I don't necessarily recommend damage on her. You could go Maguel and stuff, but you get so much value out of the energy armor, and if you're going to build Rocket, you probably want to build tanky. But, this is a commander you could really mix up and play any way you like. So kind of just use my ideas as a second opinion or a reference and find out what works for you against the opponents you go against most. Now, of course, Rocket does suffer from not having a guaranteed hit skill. Energy armor is a thorn skill, which is great, but you really have to take a lot of damage to kill your enemy. So it's nice to have a little accuracy in the helm. I think you could get a lot of value out of Eye of Abyss. Yeah, of course, if you are building pure tank build, Valkyrie's probably better. Ghost Mask is okay too. But you feel out what your opponents are doing against you. Maybe be able to mix your gear up a little bit. So let's get into some replays to show what I'm talking about. Let's show the damage, that true damage of rocket armor, and then I'll show a video from the community members, and we can kind of tie this video together, and hopefully that covers what you guys were looking for in a video about rocket. So here comes energy armor right there, level 5 energy armor, which I believe is going to be 1840, 1820, 1840 is the damage. So here comes the, well, what we want to watch is this troop right here, right there, up there. See 630? So what's going to happen is this troop's going to attack my slot 1 that triggered energy armor. Here it comes. Boom, it misses, but it still did 1840. Did you see that? It happened really fast. I can't rewind it in this type of a replay, but if you want to backspace 5 seconds, you can see the damage there. And at level 5, it did 1840 damage, even though it missed. Now, if it hit, it would still do 1840 thorns damage back to the attacker. I hope that's not confusing. If it is, just go back 20 seconds. Okay. Now, here's another replay where I bumped the skill from 5 to 15 just to show how the damage scales, and it scales exactly based on skill level. So if level 5 hit for 1840, level 15, 3 times as much skill levels will hit for 3 times that much, which is 5520, something like that. So anyway, I hit energy armor on slot 1, and we're going to watch once again slot 4 for the enemy right up here. And it's coming around here pretty quick. So instead of hitting for 1840, it should be 5520. Here comes the miss. Boom, 5520. So there you go. That's quite a bit of damage, man. It's true damage, just like bullet and rock. You can't alter that damage. The only way to increase or lower that damage is to increase the skill level from rocket or the amount of troops that triggered it. The higher the amount of troops that trigger it, the more thorns damage is done back. Of course, if you're using high tier, they have to risk a lot of units as well. So, if you're a boss player, toe-to-toe fighter, and you don't have Rogers yet on your server, and you want to just throw down, rocket is not a bad choice, man. And it really can punish your opponents. Even if they're like pure dodge builds, you're still going to get a lot of value out of her. But she's a scary commander to use. She can be very punishing to your opponent. She can also be very punishing to you. So you got to minimize your risk there. And let's see if I can't. Bear with me, guys. I have to. Rocket don't care. Thanks to Craxy Bones for submitting this replay a long time ago. And in this replay, what he does is, and we'll go back to the beginning, he shows what happens when you use strength and weaken. So one of the problems with rocket is when you trigger energy armor and you're using low tier, because energy armor ignores tier suppression, low tier could trigger full damage to tier 11 and higher. But she has to survive the hit. If the energy armor troops die, then no damage is done back. So in this example, he uses strength and weaken gear to show that tier 1 against tier 7 is very viable because tier 7 doesn't do any damage against, tier 7 walkers won't do any damage to airships. So at 400% plus, walkers do 0 damage to airships. So here we go. It takes a while for energy armor to finally trigger, so that's why he's fast forwarding it here. But a minute and 40 in, he finally triggers an energy armor. I think it's on slot 2 here. So keep your eye out right here. There it is. There's the energy armor. Finally triggers. Here comes the slot to attack, and boom, 1422. Devastating. So if you have strength and weaken gear, you can also get value out of rocket that way. Of course, it's not easy to do that, but just another way of using her. And a lot of late game players have strength and weaken gear, and they know how to use it like that, so feel free to do that. Now, you don't have to use energy armor to get really a lot of value out of strength and weaken. If you have that set up anyway, just use high tier. But anyway, that's just another view on rocket. She's actually a really good commander. She's certainly one of the most overlooked commanders. She didn't used to be. She was a nerfed commander, but I still think she has a lot of value. And as time goes on in a fight, she gets double value out of that front row over and over. And even though it's not a guaranteed hit skill commander, it does hit hard enough to make it feel like she has a guaranteed hit skill. So I'd like to see more rocket play. I don't think we're going to see her at the highest levels. in galactic battle, but maybe on your server against mid-pay or free-to-play players, you may see a lot more value out of Rocket. But she's certainly a fun commander, and a lot of people don't know that she has that ignore tier suppression skill, so you can trap them into that, and you can get them scratching their heads thinking the game is bugged or something because they have no idea what happened. But that's what we do on this channel. We explore rare and unique commander skills that read wrong and put proof on the table so people can actually try them out, knowing what they're getting themselves into without committing millions of resources and gold to realize their commander sucks. So, yeah, let's tie it up. Check the comments below. Make sure I didn't miss anything. People like to post comments that I might have missed stuff, and then I super like them. So scroll down there, see if anything of value wasn't mentioned in this video. Also, if you haven't joined the Line community, check the description below. You can add me or another moderator. We'll invite you to the Ark of War channels, whether it's just public chat, private chat, guild chat, whatever you're looking for. We have it there. There's also a Reddit and a Discord. You should join this community if you watch these video, guys. There's a massive amount of knowledge about this game that doesn't make it onto YouTube, and the only way to get it is meeting in those communities below. So that's the end of this video. My name is Melt. Thanks for watching, and remember, peace is bad for business.